Hey, what's up everyone? It's All Day Says, and I'm gonna be starting to make tech news videos because technology is what I really love. I'll get better as time goes on, but for now, just please bear with me as I get better. Uh, I figured since today's June 28th, I'd start with talking about uh, Google's I/O Developer Conference, and since that just started yesterday. So yesterday, as you probably already know, they unveiled Android version 4.1 Jelly Bean, which is really cool from what I can tell so far, but it wasn't enough of an upgrade from the last version to actually be called 5.0, so they just stuck with 4.1. One of the first things they talked about yesterday was how the entire system is running about 60 FPS frames per second, which that's thanks to what they call Project Butter, which was a huge thing inside of Google that they wanted to make all of Android run faster and be less snappy. They just wanted it to be quick, fast, and fluid. So response time on everything is much better from what we can tell so far. Another thing they added was on the home screen when you're adding widgets and moving icons, it doesn't all fit always. So what they added with Jelly Bean is you're adding a widget and everything moves out of the way. If you move a widget over where you have icons on your home screen, then the icons that are there move away from the screen and the widget resizes and fits in that space, which is really cool, I think. And it used to be on a former version of Android that when you used voice input, which Android's had for a little bit now, with ice cream sandwich and whatever, you used to have a really good connection or be online at all. If you didn't have a good connection or if you were in airplane mode for whatever reason, then you couldn't use the voice detection service that they have. So now with Jelly Bean, all the stuff that used to be on Google's system that you used to have to access via the data connection now is on your device, and you can use voice dictation whenever, no matter what your situation is, where you're at, what's going on, which I think is really cool that you can use it no matter whatever's going on, where you're at, if you're on an airplane or whatever. Uh, Something Android's had forever is that Google search bar that everybody knows, and up at the top when you hit the search button for your voice, now it kind of is more detailed, I want to say. It's got what they called cards at the conference yesterday, and it's a lot like Siri. People are calling it to be a lot like Siri, where you can ask what's the forecast for the rest of the week, and it'll show you a card a lot like Siri, which is pretty cool. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Jelly Bean. Unless you really want to get into it, you can go to Google's developer website and read into all the other features that because I'm sure they didn't go all over all of them because the conference would be days. Uh, but yesterday they did release the SDK for developers. I develop apps myself, so I downloaded that and was messing with it a little bit yesterday. And they said yesterday that Jelly Bean will be released mid-July to the Nexus devices, and then they'll start rolling out over-the-air upgrades to just any other Android devices that are compatible with it, like the Droids on Verizon and everything. Another thing that they talked about yesterday that people were really, really excited about, myself included, is the Nexus 7 tablet that they built with ASUS. It was a partnership, which it was Google ASUS, and it's a lot of people have been calling it the Kindle Fire Killer. One of the reasons is it's a lot similar in form factor. It's basically the same size. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner, I think. But they're calling it the Kindle Fire Killer because the 8 GB model is $199, which is, if you go to Best Buy or anywhere to try and pick up a Kindle Fire, that's what it's going to run you, is $199. But if you take a small step up on the price ladder, you're going to get double the storage, 16 gigabytes for $249. They're bragging about it being the first device to ship with Jelly Bean on board without having to update. And what's really cool about it is for $200 you get a quad-core NVIDIA Tegra 3, which quad-core in a tablet is something you're looking at $400 to pay to get a processor that great. The screen is supposed to be really, really nice at 1280 by 800 resolution with an IPS LCD display, which that really impressed me. I think that's awesome. And one thing that they were talking about is there is no back camera, but there is a front camera for video chat and stuff. So I don't think there's a native camera app on the Nexus 7. I think you have to be Skyping or something like that for it to be accessible. It's only 1.2 megapixels, but it's good enough to do things like Skyping or video chatting and all kinds of stuff like that. And you can pre-order it now on Google Play, and it comes with $25 store credit to use on Google Play to buy content like apps, movies, games, stuff like that. And the last thing that I was going to talk about is the Nexus Q, which I'm not sure I was interested in it, but I figured I'd talk about it. It's $299, and it's shaped like a sphere, and it's got like a LCD ring around it that has colors, and it changes based on what content you're streaming. And basically, with Jelly Bean and the Nexus devices, you just tap it, and you play a song on your Nexus, and you just tap it on the Nexus Q, and it plays, and it streams to speakers and television and any other device that you have it hooked up to. I don't quite understand it, but you can look it up on Google's website, of course. It just seemed pretty cool. So, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll get better.